Everything comes at the right time, perfectly. Everything comes at the right time. I can trust it now. I used to worry about the time and wonder if I fell behind.
But I happened to go on a day that the soup kitchen was closed. But people are talking. They got a lot of soup kitchens out here. A
Oh, yes.
lot of soup kitchens.
More than a
They don't
million
call.
people
They don't
lost their
call them. They
jobs
don't call
last
them.
year.
Yeah, they don't call them soup kitchens, but they have them because a lot of people don't give people that are on substance abuse that's nodding and doing all kind of stuff. They don't give them food like they used to. Because they don't even want them in their restaurant. They don't want them in front of their restaurants. And it's a lot of them. So they have places where they can go get warm meals. And if they're a senior, they go right up there to wherever there's a senior facility is, the Atlas Center. All of those places give them free food or they give them cooked food. So it's a lot of people that's really meeting the needs, but you just got to keep them your friend until it's election time.
Yeah.
And walk them to the polls. Walk them to the polls, and like you said, the absentee ballot. If they're doing the absentee, do it by family. Call every senior. Make sure that we mailing ours at the same time. If there's somebody mobile that's young in the family, let them go collect it and put that stuff in the mailbox for their family members. So if someone wait to the last minute, I'm waiting for the mailman to come.
Hello? Hello?
Yes.
This is Elaine. I finally got in.
Hallelujah.
And I got to say, what I'm hearing is very informative. A lot of stuff I was out of touch, and I'm hearing it, and I got to say I'm, really in tune and back to what's actually taking place. And I'm hearing you all talk, and I'm hearing about the soup kitchens. But the bottom line is, this is definitely another form of genocide, and we cannot move away from that. So, we need to stop. I hear a lot of stuff going on, but if nothing else, when people are not geared up or have insight about voting, we need to remind these people of what's sitting up there at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and that it is not going to get any better until they get off their asses and exercise their right to vote that so many people have given their lives for. I don't understand. Mm-hmm. This is serious. When you talk about we're sending troops over to Iran and all these different places. You're not sending troops. You are sending your damn kids. You are sending your kids over there to die. We need to sit back and understand that what's taking place in this country and generating from Washington, D.C. is another form. I used to think that it was genocide against the blacks, but it's genocide against anybody who's poor. If you're poor in this country, you don't stand a chance. And so we need to step back and come up with a reasonable plan of how we not only get ourselves together, but our children, because that's where it's going to lie, in the hands of our children. So we need to think about, instead of all this rhetoric, what are we going to do? What are we going to bring to the table? We ask the question, okay, over and over, what can you bring to the table? We need to step back and say, well, this has been in our hands all the time. So how are we going to bring something positive to the table to get our kids and our communities involved in what's taking place in this country? Because I can tell you, I'm sitting back and I'm observing we're all in some serious trouble. We're definitely in some. These are trying times.
Thank you, Elaine.
So
You're absolutely right.
what do we do?
Well, like you said, we
I,
started playing Margot, I don't know if you got a chance to hear her when she came in. Margot actually had talked about a plan. And she even talked about what they were
mm,
doing in Detroit. Again, getting the word out to everyone. There is no one
mm,
that needs to be excluded from the conversation. To include not
mm,
only talking about the importance of voting, who to vote for, how to vote. Again, those who
mm,
are new to the process, letting them know where they can go and get some information to include if that person is you. Like she just said, when it comes to the absentee or mailing ballots, they're called mail-in ballots in some places. We call them absentee here because you're absent from the poll. Um,
mm,
Pick them up, go by and pick them up, like, and they've done that. I've seen they've done that for aldermanic and mayoral. They did that again. We keep talking about the precinct captains, but in addition to, beyond the precinct captain, you get volunteers. I heard and saw a commercial earlier today for Juliana Stratton. She's telling people to go to her website and to register to become a volunteer. Those volunteers serve multiple purposes. Not only will they encourage people to vote for her, at the same time, you're encouraging them to participate in the process, to vote. And you're going to be probably telling them to vote again Democratic. It's going to be everyone and pretty much everything and anything you can do to encourage people to vote is going to be what's necessary. And that again, since you have knowledge, Elaine, you again, if you go to a senior meeting, I have a cousin that lives in Stone Mountain. We were just
mm,
chatting a little bit online. You know, when she goes to her exercise class, she has a seniors
mm,
exercise class, she says. And she said they're talking about this, that they pick her up on the bus. That was part of the conversation on the bus, and that's part of the conversation there, because again,
mm,
some of them use mail-in ballots. She says she plans on
mm,
going to the polls, but again, a few of them were saying they had used mail-in ballots,
mm,
and
mm.
were concerned about that being taken away, which again, they were not happy about it. So that's something that they're going to fight for, and call your senator. I should have
Yeah.
posted that phone number, and what I'll do, because Wanda has everybody's information, I'll give that number to her because I have the number. I got it saved in my phone.
Mm,
And I'll pull that number out. And it's the same, it's the main number that they call. You'll call them and they'll ask you where you're from. And I think if I pull
mm,
up Dick Durbin's office, I can do it even easier. And oh my God, I'm looking at her face. Help me, y'all. What's our female senator's name? Patty Duckworth. Um, Now you all were not helping me, really. You really? Y'all just left me out there hanging. You know what I mean? Uh, their phone numbers, I can actually make it easier and give you their numbers because again, on the other, when you call in, they ask you to type in a bunch of stuff. Uh, and I can just give you. I'll have give that information to Wanda, and she can send it out, and then we'll have it too. We'll just keep sending it out every time um, um, we do the show, and then that way it's something that we can circulate and have. We can always look on our phone even and pull it up. But they have phone numbers. You can call their Tammy Duckworth. We can call their numbers. As you know, I hope everyone knows that Dick Durbin is not running again. Um,
Right.
he's considered a lame duck, but again, his office is still a functioning office even after the election. Their offices stay open until the inauguration of the new senator. I want everybody, because I think, and same with the congressmen, even though they've lost, with the exception of those who left the office, and all of them were Republicans that left the first of the year and decided to jump up and leave because they think they're not going to be prosecuted. You're still going to jail. Um, but for those who lose, their office still has to be functional and still be available because taxpayers' dollars is what pays for that office, and they have a staff that can answer the phones and things for them until the new uh, senator or U.S. congressman or woman comes in and takes over. You can still call. So don't think because, oh, well, he's not running again, his office is not taking calls. Yes, they are, because he's still voting. He's one of the senators that's sitting there that's still available to vote on this SAVE Act. He is still working until up until the end. I mean, they work until the end. So let people know that. Don't have them, congressmen too. Don't let them get misled to think, well, we don't need to call them or nothing because they're not doing anything. No, they have to still work. They're still working. They have to still respond. I
That's
haven't
that's
heard from anybody else. I'm sorry, Margot. What were you saying?
no. I just wanted to say to Elaine, Lane, I'm glad you used this word, and it's sticking out like all throughout my all throughout my spirit. It's the word genocide.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the Bud Billiken parade that's coming up. We got a lot of parades that's coming up, and I'm in my kitchen and I'm sitting here looking at flags and signs, and it says, "Do you know what genocide is?
Mm-hmm.
Is it you? Is it your ancestors? Is it your grandmothers? Is it your niece?" And I think what I'm going to try to attempt to do, because I'm coming out of some situations where I'm kind of free, my mind and my healing of my body, that God has permitted me so that I can move in a peaceful manner. But I like the word genocide because I can see it on posters and car signs and all the rest of it, because if nothing else that will get to the fiber of somebody is that word, and some people don't even know what it means.
That's right.
Where the hell did that word come from? But I think that one stuck out more than anything because I could see it on T-shirts, and you can give it to everybody that's standing out in terms of recovery homes, because they have right at 75th and Jeffrey, right across the street from South Shore High School, in the very front door, is a center where they come and get their Metrodone supply. So the kids are going in school and they coming out. They coming, walking, nodding, bending over, coming out. They didn't got their legs, so now they sitting on the same bus stops when the children are coming out of school, sitting there nodding and all the rest of it. It's like, is this what genocide, self-genocide look like?
That's exactly what it looks like.
You
So
know,
the
let me.
difference is
Exactly what it looks like.
if we get this information out to the people through the hip hop locations, all of these people, and I got some little stuff coming through, so maybe I can just dedicate some T-shirts that says, "Ask them, do they really know what genocide really means?"
Mm-hmm.
Let me share this with you guys, since this is going to be taped and Wanda's going to have it out there. And this comes from the Department of Justice when it was still the Department of Justice, and it talks about genocide. It's the deliberate, systemic, and planned destruction in whole or in part of a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group, coined by Ralph Lemkin in 1944. It is a legal crime involving killing members, causing serious bodily / mental harm, or imposing conditions to bring about a group's physical destruction.
That's it.
I'm glad,
Sounds
Elaine.
terrible.
I'm glad you work your way through to these phones to get to this so that we can have
See
this
the
word.
importance, right? That importance of putting that word and putting that thought in our heads. Yeah, that's real. And what we're experiencing is exactly genocide. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So, when you think about it, it ties into politics. It ties into all the facilities that govern this country. That's their sole purpose when it comes to us. And I'm not saying people of color, I'm saying us.
Yeah. All of us. And that's another thing. All of us have to work together to overcome this. Now we can
That's right.
go to our respective separate corners later, but this
Yeah.
affects all of us. There has not been one group that's walking around on this US soil that
Hmm.
has not been adversely impacted by this administration in the
Yeah.
year and 4 months, because when year 4 months that they've been in office, year and 3 months, that's a short length of time. We're talking about 15 months.
That's right.
We're talking about
And
15
you see,
months.
Elaine, and yeah, the other thing is think about this. A lot of our people that are unconscious, they'll hear another race talk about it and get ignited. Some of them
Yeah.
don't hear us.
No.
They don't see us. They don't respect us. And it's almost just like family members.
Yeah.
You can be right there in their face and they don't really see you. They really don't hear you. And so we have to get it out there by any means necessary.
But you know, one thing about me, I
Yeah.
have learned that we have been conditioned from the time we come out of our mother's wombs to be subservient and not hear one another. This was intentionally imposed upon us. So when you deal with situations like that, then you have to come up with a plan of how do we reverse that line of thinking.
Yes.
That's what
Yes.
we have to do because we're conditioned. So I don't hold that against my brothers and sisters because I know how it was systemically imposed upon us. So I move right along. Let me say this right quick. When Trump first ran, he was considered the great white hope because they saw making America great again as instilling slavery. But once he got in that office, because I'm down in the dirty South in Georgia. I saw all these white hitting racists around there whispering, oh, what Trump was going to do and how they were 100% behind him because, hey, he was going to get them niggas back in the fields doing this, that, and the other. And I'm real serious with this. After that man got in office this second time, when the wives end up losing their jobs because of the funds that were cut, they were losing their jobs. Their kids was losing different monies and things that they had been given to because they were considered entitled. You don't hear them whispering and supporting Trump again. There has been a hell of a change going down in this South where they so afraid that this red state is going to turn blue. So when you talk about getting folks out, they are so doggone glad that folks are not voting. Let's be real about this stuff. When you don't go out there and you don't vote, that's a feather in their hat because they see this as the red state is going to continue being the red state, and all those racist attributes that they're trying to instill is going to continue. So, like I said, if nothing else, because they're running scared down here in Georgia. They're trying to impose all kind of laws, taking away the votes, and you got to come up with this, that, and the other in order to vote. We got to get on their asses, stay on their asses, stick it to them. So I go to a senior center every day when I can. And I don't give a damn because all the administration in that senior center, they're white racists. But I let them know one thing, that I am there to advocate for the seniors, for what's right. So if I had to sit up there and talk about the racist shit that's taking place there, I do it. And get their asses up to vote, because that's the only way things are going to change. And if you've been afraid all this year and you sat back and you allow Mr. So-and-so and Mr. Miss So-and-so to treat you like you are shit, hey, it's a change on the horizon that's coming. What used to take place ain't going to take place no more. So when I walk through there, I walk through there taking care of Black business. So, that's just what's going on with the South. It's going to take some time, but I got to say, they are definitely running scared. So,
And
no.
I can agree with you. I talk to my cousin every other day or so in Arkansas, and they're doing that silent change, because before we were talking to them and they didn't like what was going on, but some of them said they didn't know how they could change or what they could do. I've been sending them stuff just like I send to our group. And I've been talking to the other cousins, and I've been talking to the young cousin, got a chance to talk to her week before last at length, and they're ready. They're ready for a change. And like the young folks have said, they keep on messing around, somebody gonna get hurt, because they're not playing. They planning on voting. They don't plan on them
That's right.
stopping them or trying to intimidate them to keep them away from the polls. Like they said, that don't try it, because we're voting this out. And Sarah Huckabee, I had shared with someone the other day. I had heard where Sarah Huckabee, she had went to a restaurant there in, I believe she was in Little Rock, and
Mm-hmm.
she sat down, and the people, some of the workers left, the crowd, everybody, she's there, whatever, and they're looking, she came in. The manager of the facility came out and asked her to leave. He said her
Mm-hmm.
presence was making his employees uncomfortable, and he
Isn't that
needed that
something?
she leave. The crowd, the other people started to applaud, and she got up and left.
Mm, 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 mm.
Now, for those who
Uh,
don't know, her daddy used to be the governor. He was the governor after Bill Clinton. When Clinton became the
mm,
president, them fools voted him in. And so she had been riding on his coattail in popularity, and he's a white nationalist using that Christian, being a Christian as a lie.
mm,
And
mm.
she had to get up and go. And that's the second time since she's been governor. She was away over in New Jersey, I think it was. She took her kids somewhere, they were on vacation. They asked
Mm-hmm.
her and her kids to leave then.
Mm.
So there, and like we've heard about JD Vance, how he's been run out of place. They done ran him out of Vermont. They ran him
Yes.
out of New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
He was somewhere
Mm-hmm.
else recently. They told him to leave. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he can't go. I don't even understand how he was still vice president. He needs to step down, because they constantly run him out.
Yes.
So people are changing. And like you said, I was going to share 13.8 million people have lost their jobs in total. 1.1
That's
million of that was federal employees.
that's right. Yeah.
But yet,
13.8 million people.
but every day, $1.8 billion is being spent on this war.
And
One
Mm-hmm.
point eight
that's what you need to be
billion.
mad at those Republicans for. Because guess what? They don't have to fund it. Plus, they're out of ammunition. I'm still trying to figure out what y'all spending money on, because I mean, are we lose? What are we losing the money with? Because you ran out of the serious ammunition before you got to week 2. So
Yeah, but the difference
what
is,
y'all
Sandra,
using?
all of that. But Sandra, if you was up there, you would know that them purchase orders, those contracts, they manufacturing that stuff as we speak. And guess what? If it was quiet, it was kept, and they put that magnifying glass on all of the vendors, and you track them vendors that's involved in that 1.8 million, you'll see where the money is. You like that man talk about going from A to Z.
Oh no,
Mm-hmm.
no,
All of them
I
government.
understand. I understand. They got some contracts. Even we had some contracts even with Japan. But at the same time, Margot, yeah, like they say, the thing that people don't understand, that contract might be there. They might be
Yeah.
making it, but it don't move like that in the government. That's the thing. That's why people are mad. They're using what they have and had available, but those who weren't following what DOD was doing, they didn't have that big ammunition stockpile anymore because that wasn't going to be the way we fought. And see, that's another
Look
thing.
at the other, but
We weren't
look
supposed
at
to be
the other.
fighting like this. There wasn't supposed to be no war.
But that's the game. That's at the things that wasn't supposed to be is what they were planning to do. This was orchestrated. This been going on for a long time. This plan was playing for a long time because a lot of us ain't intelligent enough to even go up there to even think about seeing where that one highest that $1.8 billion being spent every day and who's getting it.
Margot, you're absolutely right. What we're not looking at is that there's big money made when we have war.
Yeah.
That's big money made.
Yeah. That's it. It's all about money.
When there's no war, money is not generating until with these big CEOs and, all these big families who run the country. You got 9 or 10 or 15 families that's ruling the world. That's where that money is going to. So, yeah, you're going to have money because wars generate money. They don't give a damn about anything else. Yes, that man up there, orange suit or 45, 47, whatever he is, that's what he's looking at because he is a puppet of the ones who control this world. And so, yes, you're going to have war.
Yeah, but that's the right one because he knew how to spin them. The spin is on, and the spin is on, and we can't stop it. But the spin is on for us to get up off our lazy butt. That's why that verse was in that Bible. It's my people that are called by my name.
That's right. There you go.
They humble themselves, and then they get up. And they strengthen themselves. And they come out and they fight. They fight with intelligence. I ain't never seen so many women in wheelchairs and amputated legs in my life. Ain't none of the women been to no war.
Yeah.
They're all in these nursing homes.
But Margot, what's that word, genocide? They are on the victims of that.
Babe, it's gone. Listen, I done wrote it all down already to my Lord. Now give me tonight, Father God. I'm asking God to tell me where to go get the money to make up all of this stuff.
All right.
Send me God. Tell me where to go. That's all.
It's something. It is something.
I thank you for making this call.
It's something. I'm so just overly thankful and grateful that you all are having these podcasts because I'm going to invite some people I know to take part in this because this is really exciting and informative. If you can, after being involved and hearing some of the things that I've heard, if you cannot leave out for this with a different mindset or something added to your mindset, I don't know what to say. Because I feel like I'm definitely involved with something positive.
Thank you. That is our intent. Our intent is to be positively effective.
Yeah.
Positively effective with getting the vote out and making a change for a better future, for the way forward, for these midterms and also for the general election. Because we're not going to forget that the midterms lead up to the general election. We're not going to be finished just because we succeed on the general election. We got to, on the midterm, because we got to go through the general. And I understand some fool has put forward something for him, a constitutional amendment for him to be able to run the third time. It's not going to happen. And we're not even worried about that. But that just shows you the level of ridiculousness. I need my grandson here to correct me. Of how far they would go. That just shows you how far even if
Yeah.
it's ignorant.